Слышащий и вишь, и преклони ухо твое. Лицу Твоему помолятся богатые лёсти. Аллилуйя,
So, can you explain how aliens are like a philosophical impossibility?
So the way that I would argue against aliens would be more on a paradigm level. So I think that this is what I was trying to get at earlier with the pagan dude that I was debating with on Twitter. Like, what we consider possible or not possible is going to be determined by the more fundamental paradigm level presuppositions of our worldview. So if I have a theistic worldview and a supernaturalistic worldview, I'm going to have a much wider range of things that are possible or not possible based on the religious paradigm that governs my worldview. Right. So, for example, if I believe in the Genesis narrative and if I believe in the teaching of the fathers and the councils, there's not really much leeway for the possibility of extra biological entities. So I could, and I do, have a place for understanding some of the UFO type phenomenon as potentially fallen angels. I think that's true. I agree with Father Sephram Rose in his assessment in Orthodox and Religion of the Future. But that doesn't mean I think every claim is aliens, of aliens as demons or something like that. I just think that's part of the story. That's part of the explanation. It fits with the biblical narrative of the hierarchies of the fallen angels. And that is different than the idea of, quote, aliens as in extra biological entities that developed on some other planet. Now, is that possible that God had another planet where there was some other life? I suppose it's possible, but I don't see any evidence, biblical, historical, quote, scientific, or patristic to believe that. So, but if you have some argument for that, I would be open to it. But another reason I'm just kind of hand wave this kind of a claim is because in almost every case, this is coming from some sort of Darwinian paradigm where it's like, well, if it took us a zillion years to like evolve, then like why couldn't there have been another planet where in a zillion years some other weird life? Because I don't believe any of this shit. So for me, that's cancels out aliens right from the outset.
Jay, I've got an argument if you don't mind sharing.
No, go ahead.
It's sort of like why am I blanking on his name? Alvin Plantinga's defeaters, regarding evolution and naturalism. So let's assume, for the sake of the argument, the evolutionary theory that they're actually making, it's a defeater for aliens. And I first came across this argument reading Tipler and Barrow's cosmological anthropic principle, who are two physicists that obviously believe in evolution. And they actually took that seriously. Well, what if we actually crunch the numbers?
Right.
Because people say, well, the universe is so large, there's so much time, so much matter out there in various combinations, it's just inevitable that there'd be alien life. But nobody actually crunches the numbers. It just, the numbers seem big, so I guess it's possible. They actually do it. And what they show is quite fascinating, that if you did assume an evolutionary model, the amount of times, what is it? What do we say now? 13. They're saying 13.5 billion years. The amount of matter, the expanse of space, and all the various combinations. What they determined is that statistically, that is the bare minimum for intelligent life arising only one place in the universe in that amount of time. They actually go through the mathematics. So if you're savvy on the mathematics, you can actually read that even if you doubled the time or expanse of the universe, you would not double the chances of alien life occurring. Once I read that, I knew from a scientific point of view, and I'm like, it's impossible. This stuff is nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, even from the evolutionary point of view, it's literally impossible, given the numbers, that there could be any other life.
That's a great point. I often myself forget the anthropic principle and how that's used in science. I mean, that is actually a strong mathematical argument, and I always forget that argument. I don't know why. I mean, it actually ties in with St. Maximus. Maximus says man is the microcosm, right, of the universe, and hence why the Logos, assuming human nature, could be the micro and macrocosm. That's a key argument in Maximus. So I thank you, Father Deacon, because I often forget that angle.